Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And the first 15 to 30 minutes on this, we're going to go through a ton of charts. Take a look at, we have a lot to cover as usual. Bitcoin is still bullish. Crypto, some of them are starting to break out. Could be a bigger bounce. We'll take a look at that. The NASDAQ, we've been covering the, shorting the NASDAQ over and over again. And Thursday evening, I put out, are we going to see some profit taking on the NASDAQ drop? And it still looks like that. So we went through Friday, we went through Sunday night in my time, right? Pacific Standard Time. And then this morning, still bouncing on the indices, still bouncing on the NASDAQ, still bouncing on some of the Magnificent Seven that could be holding up the NASDAQ and the SP 500, right? So we're going to take a look at all of that. And in the second half of the stream, make sure to comment. If you become a subscriber on YouTube, you can comment what asset you want me to take a look at. Just make sure to put in a crypto stock asset that it is, the name of it, the symbol. And even if you're like, hey, I'm waiting patiently for a long position, put in the details of all in the comments. So with that, let's jump right into this, and we'll make this chart a little bit bigger here. This is Bitcoin. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive today, but as of right now, and we'll circle back to it, but as of right now, it's still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. It is on this upper trend like this, right? Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. So we'll circle back here, and we'll take a look at the daily chart. We'll take a look at lower time frames, stuff like that. And what we kind of think about Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. But let's jump over to the NASDAQ for now. On the weekly chart, right? On the weekly chart, we still have, clean this chart up a little bit. We finally had the weekly sell signal, right? But, based off of, shorting the bounces or shorting the lower highs, right? Shorting the lower highs, the higher probability shorts. We didn't wait for a sell signal on the weekly chart, right? It lags. It takes time to play out. What we did instead was, we were anticipating a weekly sell signal way back here, right? Way back here on Tuesday, I think it was, Thursday, the 12th. Good morning, the one who knocks. More likes, more. Awesome, more likes. Good morning. John Pye, hello there. Smash a like. Yes, smash a like. Our goal is 100 likes. We definitely need to get to that. One of the videos we hit 87 likes. One of the live streams we hit mid 50s, I believe. So we're still getting closer and closer to hitting those likes. Welcome back, everyone. Rick's, good morning, Jesse. Travel day, sell signal is sketchy. Nice. Well, welcome back. So before the sell signal on the NASDAQ for the weekly chart, we've been anticipating this. We can't predict, right? But we can just see what the overall charts are saying and telling us of the overall direction. And we can look at other indices like the Dow Jones, S&P 500, Russell 2000. We can kind of see what they're doing. If one is leading the way, if one is lagging the way, right? So, we don't have this magic crystal ball, but we do have an obsessive amount of chart time put in. And it continues to play out as we talked about. We'll never be 100% accurate, but on the higher time frames, it seems like, we become more and more accurate as time goes on. Sell signal back here at the end of last week, right? We were talking about it even on Thursday, even before the weekly close happened. Watch out for some possible profit taking, probably before my next major target, right? I've seen this happen. I've seen this play out many times before. Price gets within on a wick and it moves down very quickly, right? Gets within, 0.6% of a major target, gets within, 0.5% of the 200-day moving average, right? And then whoever's shorting it, with leverage, not to name any market snipers over here, there's some profit taking going on. And we talked about it Thursday night in the Discord. I posted a bunch of charts. And then we talked about it on the live stream Friday, right? Talked about it on the live stream Friday. It's still looking like there's some possible profit taking, right before the major target. right before this is the 200-week moving average down here, but the 200-day moving average was coming up into our target number 2. And, overall, it's like it doesn't just go straight down. We would love for it to just go straight down and hit all the targets at once, and we get rich over and over and over again. But, it takes time to play out. And what happens is it comes down like this, some profit taking, starts to get a bounce, maybe even, who knows if it's just a bear flag that gets put in, or if it even bounces higher, gets a higher retracement, and then comes back down, right? So we'll be there every step of the way, shorting those bounces. Wherever those bounces are, we'll be taking advantage of it. It could just be letting the trending dots kind of catch up, right? Letting the moving averages kind of catch up as it's coming down like this. And whether it's today, tomorrow, or the next day, or, a week or so of this bounce, right? We never know the exact timing of it, but we'll be watching it on the weekly chart, the daily chart, and even, of course, the lower time frames as well. Obviously, that's what we're always doing. So that's what I'm kind of seeing right now, where it'd be like this, some profit taking, right? Some people call, oh, the bottom is in, right? Trap those people, right? Trap those people that the bottom is in. I'd be very surprised at this level after a weekly sell signal, right? That the bottom is in, right? Calling the bottoms all the way down, we're going to the moon up here, right? Then the bottom is in, right? Now you're calling the bottom is in again after a weekly sell signal. Come on, amateur hour, right? Major players aren't going to come back in and step in until they see like a major level, whether it's like a major level here, a major level here, or a major level down here by the 200-week moving average, right? Major buyers aren't going to move back in until it hits a key level, right? Fill some of this big move in up here. Most likely they were riding this wave up here, right? The experts, right? Riding the wave, profit taking, and now you got retail coming in and using them as people like to say, exit liquidity, right? It's just it's a catchy term. West Diddy, good morning. Aldo Olson, I made it. Could we do Nugget ETF? You got it. Early bird gets a worm. Welcome back, Aldo. I'm guessing or assuming your family's feeling better. Welcome back. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling here. So here's the daily chart. We'll get through all the comments. We'll get through all the questions. And we'll definitely get through all your requests, on the second half of the stream. The chart's starting to get wild here. Let me take some of these drawings off, right? Especially if you're just joining right now. Maybe you're late to the live stream, had to get some last minute coffee. It's okay, right? So we'll watch this closely. I took profits on my short, right? And now I'm just waiting patiently. If we were to drop down to the 4-hour chart, we'll take a look at the 4-hour chart. Still, not much is happening. It's still not bullish on the 4-hour chart, right? Just kind of, taking some profits down here, letting everything kind of catch up on the higher time frames. But this is what we talk about. There is a weekly sell signal on the weekly candle, right? It's not how the candle starts, but it's how it closes. And the weekly candle started with a wick, right? This started up here at 14,952 last week. It started up. It pumped all the way up, right? 14,000 something, right? And then it went all the way down to 14,152, but end up closing bearish at, call it 14,270-ish, right? Again, another candle starting with a wick. Will it close lower? It is possible it starts with another wick and then closes lower. Or it does really nothing this week or next week or the week after, kind of letting the trending dots catch up, but is still bearish. And at the end of this week or the next week, I'm expecting lower prices, right? So it just takes time to play out. This is a weekly chart. Javier, welcome back. AB Key, hello all. Kiko, XRP, Arnold, Morning Boss, Kiko. Yeah, we've got XRP on here on the watch list. We can take a look at it. Let me know the details. Are you in XRP? Are you looking to get an XRP? What is your overall thought on XRP? So when we cover it, we can kind of cover it through your thoughts, your vision on it. So we're just not shooting dark in the blindly in the dark, right? We want to have that sniper precision. So that's the NASDAQ. We had a sell signal on the weekly chart. Let's keep going. Again, had that sell signal in the Dow Jones way back here in September. Created a wick on the week 2, right? Created a wick and then finished lower. And then it's just been bearish since. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row. Hit another key target. I removed other target boxes just to keep the chart clean, right? And it kind of consolidated and pushed even back up here after a few weeks or the 4th week, letting the trending dots kind of catch up. After hitting this target, there's some more profit taking and could consolidate and or bounce on the Dow Jones. But the Dow Jones seemed like it was kind of leading the way, right? Kind of leading the way. SP 500, right? SP 500 also had a sell signal back here in September, was lagging behind the Dow Jones, was lagging behind the Russell 2000, it seems like, right? Kind of battled this upward trend line for a moment, even had a buy signal, but we weren't thinking it was a buy signal because it's well below the trending dots, right? So it's kind of battling it. And then it had that another major breakdown, followed by the next week starts with a wick, right? Starts with a wick, pushes back up to 4,300. You hear all the TV people, you hear all the YouTubers, you hear all the Twitter X app folk, talking about the bottom is in, the bottom is in, bottom is in, right? Well, then it closed back below 41.35, right? So it's all about the closes for me. A lot of times, not always, right? Not always, but a lot of the times the candle starts with a wick and then finishes the opposite, right? So that's SP 500. Russell 2000, we've been covering this. We've been covering it. We've been covering it, right? So it had that weekly reversal candle back here in July. Sell signal, battled the 200-week moving average, and then closed back below, and then just fell out the bottom, right? And this was the first weekly close. And is the Russell 2000. The reason why we're covering this and we're going back through the charts of what happened is so we can have some possible forward thinking, right? So we can have some possible, canary in the coal mine, right? So by looking at all these charts, it's telling us like, is Russell 2000 leading the way? The Russell 2000 had just had a weekly, it's been more bearish and it's been ahead of schedule for NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and SP 500. So is this weekly sell signal back here was in early September, right? This weekly close took out back here, took out this pivot point. We talked about it, closed back below the trend lines, took out this pivot point, took out this pivot point. This is the lowest weekly close since November 2020, right? So is the Russell 2000 showing us where NASDAQ is going? Is it showing us where the Dow Jones is going to be in the near future? Is it showing us where the SP 500 is going to be in the near future? I think so, right? I think so. And so we'll see. The probabilities continue to increase that we're coming back down to hit this longer term mapped out target that I mapped out back here in 2021, right? I mapped out these longer term targets. It only hit 2 of the longer term targets. Then it hit this third longer term target, right? Battled, basically all of 2022, and then started breaking down end of 2023, third quarter, and now it's trending back down to this target, right? We have this line on here, March 20. Luis, good morning. March 2020 low, right? We have this on the chart for a reason. The reason is many larger stocks have come back down to the March 2020 lows. Many large stocks like Amazon, Disney, PayPal, even Meta, aka Facebook, many stocks have gone below March 2020 lows, right? So the indices have not. Are the indices lagging time-wise? Are they coming back down to March 2020 lows? It's possible, right? It is possible. That's why we have March 2020 lows on here. Will it go below March 2020 lows? It's possible. So is the Russell 2000 leading the way of the SP 500? This is why we're covering it. If so, then it would come back down and hit this target. If so, it would come back and retest the 200-week moving average. If so, it would hit this next target. If so, SP 500 would take out this pivot, right? It would start closing back below here. This is where the Russell is right now, closing back below here, closing back below the pivot point of the route before the rally began, right? Before we called out, hey, there's bullish divergence, watch out for the rally, right? We're expecting a rally, right? We had lower targets, right? We had lower targets. We saw some of the stocks come back down here, right? But we saw bullish divergence. We were expecting a rally, expecting a bounce, right? It found support of the 200-week moving average. We expected a rally. The rally lasted longer than we thought, right? Than we originally thought. But that's okay because we stay neutral, right? On the NASDAQ, the rally bounced higher to higher targets than we even ever imagined or thought, right? But that's okay. You know, certain things come out like the AI was trending really hard and that helped push like tech stocks, right? Artificial intelligence was pumping really hard, especially in Google search, right? Expecting Bubble Donkey. Good to see you. Good to see you, Bubble Donkey. Good to see you back here. Love saying the name Bubble Donkey. So funny. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the channel. We're smashing likes over here. I know we're going to hit 25, 30, 35, maybe even higher. We're going to hit higher likes, right? Smash it. Sometimes we're going to be obnoxious. Smash the subscribe button, right? Smash the like button. Smash it. Do your best. Smash it as hard as you can. Smash that subscribe button, right? So thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll continue on. So that's why we're taking a little bit more time and going through the Russell 2000. That's why we're spending a little bit more time on the SP 500, the Dow Jones, and stuff like that. If the Russell 2000 is leading the way, and if it just took out this pivot low here right before the rally, will the SP 500 follow? Right? Will the Dow Jones follow? Will it come back down here and have weekly closes back below here and take this target and take out this pivot area like the Russell 2000? We don't know for sure. It is trending that way. It is trending that way, and that's why we watch all of this. Will the NASDAQ come down where the Russell 2000 is, retest this target, hit all these targets to the downside, and take out this pivot low, right? It is possible, and that's what we're betting on, right? That's what we're betting on. So don't follow me. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. Hopefully you get some entertainment out of this, and we're going to continue onward from here. The dollar is still bullish on the daily chart, right? The dollar is still bullish. I'm sorry, on the weekly chart. We're still getting this going. Do you think fat is good at entry point? We can take a look at it, Kiko. Emmanuel has been wanting to look at fat over the last few live streams. I don't see him on here right now, but we can take a look at it. It's on the watch list. The dollar, aka DXY, is still bullish on the weekly chart, right? However, the daily chart, let's take a look at the daily chart. The daily chart, right? Let's take a look. We had bearish divergence, right? This could be a sneaky lower high. Well, not even that sneaky. This could be a lower high. So after the bearish divergence, there could be a lower high on the dollar. And this would be kind of like a fake out above this trend line, right? I've seen this pattern play out before. Think November 2021, right? November 2021, Bitcoin was having bearish divergence, right? on the daily chart, and it was breaking out of this downward trend line, getting everyone excited again, right? And then it just breaks back down and then puts in a lower high and then it continues downward, right? So just an overall pattern. I'm not saying it's going to have a crash like Bitcoin did. In fact, it's still bullish on the weekly chart. So after this bearish divergence, it could just come back down, hit target 2, target 3, and then see if it finds support and then continues upward after that. So we're going to take it level by level, spot by spot, right? And as of right now, there's bearish divergence on the daily chart. This could be a lower high, and if the day closes back below the trending dots, back below this trend line, then this looks like it was a fake out to the upside, right? Put it in a lower high, and then continues back down, especially after there was bearish divergence. So that is the dollar. Okay, U.S. 10-year yield still bullish currently on the daily chart. Very similar thoughts to the dollar. Bearish divergence. It's looking like a lower high, right? So will it find support and continue upward? The weekly chart is still ultra bullish as of right now, right? It currently is. It is battling between bullish and ultra bullish on the weekly chart. And the monthly chart, it's almost over. Tomorrow, the monthly chart ends. So it is currently still ultra bullish. So what we can see is it stays up at these levels at 4.9% today, tomorrow, and maybe even a push into the early weekly month of November. And then at that point, does it start correcting based off of the daily chart, comes back down, corrects, and then maybe even finds support and finishes strong on the monthly chart of November towards the end, right? So on the daily chart, maybe it kind of looks something like this, right? So, talked about, finding bounces along the way, right? So could it just kind of remain up here for the next couple of days, right? Kind of battle it up here, even into November. This is starting to get into weeks, right? So here, let me clear this off. Let me start over. Let's clear it. Oh, there we go. So beginning of the month, right? Maybe it could just kind of stay up here, put in some lower highs into early, and then November, maybe it comes back down, right? And then finds support and then bounces from there and then finishes up still bullish in November. And then maybe it finds some more support, December, and then maybe it continues the rally after that. So that's what we're kind of watching on 10-year yield. Let's take a look over at crypto, because this is what we were kind of talking about back here on let's see, let's go to the videos. So going back here, Bitcoin pumps to 35,000, opportunity alert, crypto and BTC miners next. 5 days ago, right? We talked about this 5 days ago. So let's look at Ethereum 5 days ago. Ethereum was kind of showing us the way back here at the buy signal at 1600, right? Solana was kind of showing us the way, right? Back here on the buy signal, the original one was back here September 28th. Seems like Bitcoin is decoupling from the major markets. Yeah, the perma bulls, Rick, are always looking for that. They're always hoping for that. What you have to keep in mind is, and we talk about this pretty much on every live stream or every other live stream, because we see comments like this all the time. To each chart is not one for one, right? So the DXY pumps sometimes while Bitcoin is pumping. The DXY pumps sometimes while the NASDAQ is pumping. Bitcoin starts the correction before the NASDAQ sometimes. Sometimes Bitcoin breaks out before the NASDAQ, stuff like that. So it decouples from time to time. But overall, if you're seeing like the NASDAQ start to take out the rally, Maddox on here, Danielson, we can take a look at it. That actually was going to look at Solana real quick, and then Chainlink, and then Matic, and then look at Cardano, Near, Dot, and Dot for some still some potential opportunities out there. So, it's not one for one. Trade the chart in front of you first and foremost, but overall, it's still connected as a high risk asset, in my opinion. But it's not going to be 100% correlated. It never was 100% correlated, but it's still correlated, right? So if the NASDAQ goes into a full on bear market, right, then and if Bitcoin is going to all-time highs and goes to the moon, yes, then I would say that it's completely decoupled from that point. But it's too early to call that. Way too early to call that, in my opinion. So I think it's just a matter of they don't line up perfectly. Like you could say that like Bitcoin was starting to crash with the Russell 2000 November 2021, and the NASDAQ followed like a month later, right? So it kind of led the way in that point. So anyways, so Solana, the reason why we're talking about the recap of the buy signal back here in September is because of some possible lagging assets. So if you miss like Solana, stuff like that, right? Had the buy signal back here in September, had the buy signal in October for Ethereum. Chainlink had the buy signal back here in September, right? Buy signal. Now it's ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? Matic does not even have a buy signal on the weekly chart yet, right? So this is why we're talking about it. This is why we're going back. Doesn't even have a buy signal on the weekly chart. The daily chart had a buy signal in October. So will we see Matic have a buy signal on the weekly chart in the near future? Right? It's possible. It's getting back up. Let's see. Let me get back on the crosshairs here. Let me delete that little dot. So it's getting back above certain key levels. There's a MACD bullish crossover, right? Had a weekly close back above the trending dots. Doesn't mean it couldn't come back down, put in a higher low at some point. But will Matic have a buy signal in the near future? Was this the low back in June 2022? Is this going to be a higher low, right? Is it going to have a bigger rally similar to Chainlink? It's possible, right? So we had this bullish divergence followed by a higher low, followed by a buy signal, got rejected at this trend line, put in another higher low, and then just broke out to the upside for Chainlink, right? Could we see something like that? Will Chainlink retest the 200-week moving average like Bitcoin? Will Chainlink regain the 200-week moving average like Bitcoin, like Ethereum? It's possible, right? So there's a lot of things that we talked about on the YouTube. So go take a look at that video from 5 days ago. We take a little bit more detail. Solana, right? Hasn't even been around long enough to, at least on this exchange, to have a 200-week moving average yet. But if there was a 200-week moving average, it'd probably be up here around, this target 2 box, right? So it's possible we see Solana get back up into here, right? It's only at $35, but are you chasing it now? I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not chasing Solana now, even though it's been ultra bullish since October 20th. 10 days it's been ultra bullish, right? But we look at these charts now. What could be possible for Matic, right? Could Matic regain the 200-week moving average? Could we see a buy signal in the near future? It's possible. Cardano, we talked about this last week. We had a pending buy signal on last week's candle, but closed without a buy signal, right? But closed back above the trending dots. We have a green trending dot down here, right? We had a pending buy signal on this candle, but finished, without a buy signal. Now we have another pending buy signal on Cardano, right? And if you look on the daily chart, it's been ultra bullish since October 23rd. So it's still early because there's not even a buy signal on the weekly chart. It is a little bit late on the daily chart. Ideally, you'd want to get back in here at like 25 cents, but there's tremendous potential to the upside where if it follows Chainlink and stuff, it could blast through all these targets and blast through the resistance, find support, and then continues upward, right? It is possible. Obviously, there's never a guarantee, but it is possible. And we're going to continue on to show you what else is happening on near, right? Very possible it regains the 200-week moving average, very similar to Chainlink, very similar to Ethereum, and very similar to Bitcoin, right? So it is possible. That's why we go back and do, the research of what's happening with Bitcoin, what's happening with Ethereum, what's happening with Solana, what's happening with Chainlink. We know a lot of people missed it. So this is why we're looking at these other ones that may be lagging time-wise. And this is the opportunity. And this is why we talk about the opportunity alert. Great explanation. You got it, Rick. Hope you're enjoying your vacation over there. Sounds like you're traveling today, but hope you had a good time with the family. Cardano has a pending buy signal, right? These are massive potentials, right? Even from now. Yes, you're late on the daily chart, but what if you're a longer-term investor and you're doing a longer-term investment swing from this point here? Call it 30 cents, right? It's a little bit lower than 30 cents. But if it comes up and hits target 2, it's 4%, right? You have to weigh out your risk to reward. The third target is about 13%. Then you've got 20-something percent. If price comes all the way up back up here to the 200-week moving average, like Bitcoin, like Solana. No, not Solana. Solana doesn't have a 200-week moving average. Like Ethereum and like Chainlink, that's 120% from here, right? If it comes up and hits this longer-term target box up here, it's 200%, right? So you have to decide, is it worth the risk to reward ratio even now at 30 cents, right? It was ideal to get in at 25 cents based off the daily chart. But is it still ideal based off the weekly chart? And then you may have to hold through short-term pain. I'm in class and I'm still listening. Awesome, Daniel's son. Don't get caught, my man. Don't get caught listening and getting everything taken away as we're talking about this. So, yes, you're late to the party on the daily chart, but it looks like it's potentially still early on the weekly chart. So you just have to decide what time frame you're trading on, right? And we talked about it. The 4-day chart already had a buy signal last week, right? So you just have to decide. Now we're getting to some more opportunity. Near, right? Did not have a buy signal. There was a pending buy signal at some point on this candle, and this weekly candle closed back above the trending dots. Hit 3 targets to the upside so far, right? Ideally, the buy signal was back here on the daily chart just above $1, right? $1.05, right? That was the ideal entry for the snipers on the daily chart. Hit target 1, hit target 2, and then after yesterday's close, it closed and hit target 3, right? So we're going to check this off. Target 3 has been hit. It's ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Could there be some consolidation and go sideways for a few days before it moves up? Yes. Could there be a potential pending buy signal on the weekly chart in the near future? Yes. There is some signs of relative strength even on the weekly chart. The weekly RSI closed at 45, right? Is gaining momentum, is gaining relative strength. There could be some wild swings. There could be some short-term pain, possibly, if you were to get in now. But I'm personally holding my near position. I'm personally holding Cardano. I'm personally holding DOT, right? So I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm holding spot, and I'm going to try to ride it as long as I can based off the weekly chart, based off of the daily chart. Even if there's some short-term pullbacks, I might try to hold it like Chainlink and hold it on the weekly chart, and hold it on Bitcoin weekly chart, and hold it on Ethereum weekly chart, right? So we had a buy signal at the end of the close on RSI. MACD is still below the 0 line. So once it gets bullish back above the 0, right, then you can start to see possible some bigger moves up. We don't even have a buy signal on the weekly chart for near yet. So, but it is gaining relative strength, right? Is ultra bullish on the daily chart. So expect pullbacks along the way. Expect it, but it's a wild animal. So dot, dot, dot. So dot, let's take a look at this, kind of clean it up here. Let's get rid of here. It's probably an old one, right? Let's take a look. The ideal buy for dot was back here, possibly even earlier, getting back above the trending dots at 370, 380, call it, right? Buy signal back here, $3.90. Hit target one, hit target two, came back down, consolidated, almost retested the trending dots. Trending dots are still trending back up. And here we go. This is a potential longer term downward trend line. Here we go. Maybe he gets a daily close back above here, right? Not even a pending buy signal on the weekly chart yet. So, could this be a bull flag? Could this be a bullish pennant, not tenant, a bullish pennant, right? If so, and you know my thoughts about trading patterns. They're good for ideas, but they're not good enough to trade on alone, right? So just like a quick eyeball test, if this is a bull flag, if this you probably have to drop down to a lower time frame to like see it better. But if this is a bullish pennant or a bullish bull flag, right? Then you can see like price coming up, hitting target 3, possibly target 4. These are the early, shorter term targets. There's potential higher targets from here, right? It hasn't even got a pending buy signal on the weekly chart yet. The opportunity is tremendous, right? The opportunity is tremendous. There's not even a buy signal on the weekly chart yet. I'm seeing experts, they already closed out their positions on the daily chart. I'm seeing people who sell courses have already closed out their positions based off of the daily chart. The party could just be getting started. And the snipers, I'm planning to push this as long as I can, right? The daily chart hasn't even flipped ultra bullish yet, right? This could be the first daily candle to close above this downward trend line. We haven't even seen a buy signal on the weekly chart yet. Let's take a look at it. It's gaining relative strength, right? The MACD had a bullish crossover, still well below the zero line. Hasn't even got back above the zero line on MACD, right? Hasn't even got back above. Relative strength, weekly chart closed at 43, right? Had a buy signal on the weekly chart. This party could just be getting started. And I'm already seeing they might make a great call on dot early on at 370, 380, right? And then you see them jump out of their positions. They're so, there's a couple things about patience. Having that sniper patience in a consolidation and looking for the right sniper breakout, right? That is patience number one. Patience number two is when you're in a winning position, pushing the trade as long as possible, right? Even when it was consolidating, a hit target two, even though it's consolidating, I'm watching the weekly gain relative strength. And so I'm continuing to push it. Even when it came back down to $4, and I'm giving back unrealized gains, right? On that point, I started scaling in more to my position, right? So got in down here, let it consolidate, hit target two. It looked like it was finding support. Looks like it was starting to build momentum back up. And I started adding to my spot position, not closing my spot position on this one. So that is DOT, that is NEAR, that is Cardano. Those are the opportunities. Even Matic, possible opportunity in the weekly chart. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, and it could all come crashing back down. You could lose every single dollar you've ever invested or traded. Always be cautiously optimistic, and know when to get in, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to push the trades as long as possible, right? So that is a lot of details on crypto. Bitcoin, as we talked about, it was ultra bullish on the daily chart. It's ultra bullish on the weekly chart. So we're seeing the influencers on Twitter, X app, and YouTube putting in their shorts, right? Putting in their shorts. Maybe they're on lower time frames, but then you see them get stopped out, or they should have been stopped out, or they're holding their position underwater, or they're not even really trading with real money. Who knows if they're just doing like paper trading or whatever and then posting their paper trades, right? Who knows what they're really doing. But what we talked about was it's ultra bullish. And we talked about on this candle, right? And this candle, it starts to consolidate, right? A big push up consolidates for a couple of weeks, right? Big push up has a correction. Big push up consolidates and or retrace, right? Now it's ultra bullish, right? The longer term trend is upward. This more vertical trend line is upward. The trending dots are trending upward. The 200-week moving average is trending upward. Everything is trending upward as of right now, right? And you've got people shorting $35,000, right? So just be careful when it's ultra bullish is sometimes when the magic happens. We have a magic wand for a reason, right? It could take a couple weeks, but then you could see some possible bigger pushes up. Doesn't mean that that was not the top, right? 35,000. It is possible. However, just keep in mind the weekly chart is ultra bullish. The daily chart is ultra bullish. There's a pending buy signal on the monthly chart. That is a pretty bullish candle. That takes out this pivot here on the monthly chart, right? So, could that mean higher targets will be hit? It definitely looks like it's trending that way. Doesn't mean the bull run is back on, right? So even so, you can see target 1 and then roll over. You can see target 2, roll over, right? Target 3, roll over. Come back, test the line, right? Put in another higher low at some point. Put in another higher low at some point. And before, well, this is a monthly chart, so maybe it doesn't take that long, right? And then you get the halving. A lot of times there's a rally, right? Let's go back to the weekly chart. A lot of times, and I'm going to do a deeper dive on this on a video. I talked about it. Didn't find time to do it this weekend. I was doing some other things, finishing up some other projects, stuff like that. But so you got the halving back here, April 2024. We could see a continued rally up, target 1. Get back in like full on mid target 1, right? It barely pierced it so far. Possibly target 2 up in the 40,000, and then maybe all the way up to target 3, right? And we'll be waiting and watching for it. And then a lot of times in previous cycles, and while the NASDAQ is correcting, and while the Russell 2000 is correcting, and while the indices are correcting and major stocks are correcting, we could see a bigger pullback, right? Not March 2020. Was it March 2020? Yeah, March 2020. Let's see. That was a couple months before, so it kind of lines up with that too. There was a big 65% correction, I believe, right? So we'll do a deeper dive, right? So I'm pretty sure the halving was back in May, right? May, and there was a big correction after a pump up in the rally, right? Another pump up, and then from this point on, from this wick here down to this wick, almost 65%, right? So it is possible we do see price continue to hit this target, then maybe this target like that, right? All while up here, and we'll be waiting and watching for it patiently, and then even try to take advantage of it to the downside. I'm currently not in a leveraged long position, but I do currently have spot Bitcoin collecting value to the upside, but I'm not in a short and I'm not in a long lever. I'm not in a leveraged short position, and I'm currently not in a leveraged long position, right? So that is Bitcoin. Now it's down 0.36%. So let's zoom in on the chart. Still ultra bullish on the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, right? There could be some battling going on the lower time frames, right? But on the lower time, let's see, on the lower time frames, we did have some bearish divergence, right? Could be a lower high. We got a reversal candle, a pending reversal candle on the 4-hour chart. So it doesn't mean we're going to go to the moon today or tomorrow, right? There could always be that retracement we talked about in previous streams, possibly comes back down, retests some key areas, and then bounces up, right? And this could happen in a very short period. But the monthly closes tomorrow, right? The monthly candle closes tomorrow. So probably not expecting too much to happen before the monthly close, right? So that's what we're watching on Bitcoin. I'll probably do a longer, detailed video about what could happen in the coming weeks and coming months heading into the halving. So be on the lookout for that. Might be like a 10, 15, 20-minute video there. Bitcoin dominance, 4-hour chart on Bitcoin dominance, right? Can we get some crypto pumps? Can we get some crypto pumps, please? Can we get near to pump through the roof? Can we get DOT to pump in the next coming weeks and months? Can we get Cardano, Matic to pump in the coming weeks and months? That'd be wonderful, right? So Bitcoin dominance. Let's see on. Looks like no bearish divergence there, but looks like a lower high followed by a reversal candle. Is Bitcoin dominance kind of leading the way for Bitcoin? Maybe it'll get a retracement. And it doesn't mean that it's going to, maybe it just hits like target 1, target 2, target 3, remains bullish, target 4, right? It's just letting all the trending dots and everything kind of catch up. So it just means that it could come like this, right? Just means it can go like that, find support. Same with Bitcoin, get a retracement. That was a massive move up, right? Consolidating, right, on these lower time frames, retrace, and then move up after that. That's all it means. So that's Bitcoin dominance, that's crypto. Let's take a quick look at, we're rock and rolling, 46 minutes in. We still have so much before we even get into so we're just going to take a quick glance at Bitfarms daily chart, right? Got a pending sell signal. These are wild animals we've talked about. It could find support at the trending dots, right? It's possible, but it's only hit target 1 so far. And, Bitfarm as an example. But I was talking about, if price is getting back below this higher low, right? If price is getting back below the trending dots, then I'll just take the smaller loss at that point, and move on. But as of right now, even with the pending sell, it could find support at the trending dots. It's possible. We'll see how it plays out. It could just be lagging time-wise. And these are wild animals, right? So even if it does start closing back below, you can't win them all, right? But to me, the risk to reward ratio is still there, and I'm still going to be holding on to it. So Bitfarm, Riot, and again, I didn't risk the farm. I didn't bet the farm. These are, not as even close to as big of trades as the NASDAQ short that I had, right? And lock those profits in. So I am playing with house money, and it's even less than the spot that I have for near DOT Cardano, right? And of course, a lot less than Bitcoin. But so overall, these are just like plays, and only target 1's been hit. Could it find support here and put in a higher low? We talked about that, and maybe we'll find support on the trending dots. We'll see. Same with Marathon. So they're all looking very similar. They all had a quick move up. They all could be retracing back to the trending dots. We'll see if they find support. And if not, know where you're wrong. If price gets back below the trend line, starts making a lower low, then we know that it's done. Call it a day, move on and then look for the next entry from there. However, this was a massive consolidation. This is a massive consolidation time-wise and percentage-wise. So this was a quick move up. You're looking at it. It's a quick move up in real time, 28%. Then it's still up 8%, right? It's still up overall. Even if it comes back down the trending dots, it's still up 5% from that breakout. So I'm still holding them for now, and we'll see how it goes out. I'm never going to be 100% accurate. These are wild animals. These are like catching lightning in a bottle. That's the way it is. Gold futures still bullish. Still hasn't even put in a higher low. What a massive move from down here, 200-week moving average, short squeeze, regained this trend line, battled it, broke out of this downward trend line. What a move up. Let's take a quick glance at Magnificent 7. We cover Magnificent 7 a lot. A lot of them are getting bounces. We're not going to probably spend as much time today because I still want to get through everyone's requests. NVIDIA, still bearish. Started with a wick up at 422, right? And it's closing back down. That's a pretty big move on NVIDIA. Still looking for the magnet, right? Magnet is pulling it in. Let's look at the weekly chart. Not even a pending sell signal on the weekly chart yet. Probably going to happen in the near future. Big move down on Meta. Come all the way back up, almost test the trending dots, right? And then we'll see how it closes. Amazon, pending buy signal. Amazon looks a little different, right? Had this massive move down to March 2020 lows, rallied, barely gained the 200-week moving average, came all the way back down here, and is battling back above the trending dots, right? So is it going to come back up and fill this gap? Is it going to come back and retest the 200-week moving average? At some point, Amazon could, maybe the low is in for Amazon, right? Maybe it's different because it's already come back to March 2020 lows. That's one of the major stocks that we talked about. Microsoft, we're just going fast on these because we covered a lot on a regular basis, right? Has hit target 1 so far. Seems like it's losing momentum. Still battling the trending dots. So we'll see if it continues to roll over. Tesla, still looking ultra bearish. Has anyone checked on Tesla John? Is Tesla John okay? Is he going to be on the replay crew? Hopefully he wasn't taking longs again, right? Just because it's at key support. It was ultra bearish on the daily chart. It still is, right? Still ultra bearish, still trending down, right? Still ultra bearish. Laugh out loud, Tesla John. Yeah, I mean, don't laugh at our people, Brandon. But hopefully he's okay. Anyone check on it? Grant, I am back. Nice, Grant. Welcome back. 3:30 in the morning over there, or what time is it over there? Have you gotten your morning swim in, or is that going to be after the live stream? So the daily chart is still ultra bearish. Hopefully my best man, who the best man of the wedding, right? Longtime friend since I was 18, right? Loves Tesla, just picked up his new Tesla. He already had an old Tesla. He got rid of that one, got the new Tesla, and hopefully he's not getting killed on Tesla stock as well. The guy probably will never sell, right? Weekly sell signal back here in October. Follow through, still ultra bearish. Will it find support before continuing to trend down? It is back below the 200-week moving average. Many investors consider that a bear market, right? Many investors consider that. Expect bounces along the way, but it is currently ultra bearish on the daily chart, and we don't pick bottoms, right? We wait for higher probability reversals. I'm not seeing one on Tesla. Maybe on lower time frames, there'll be bounces along the way, right? Apple continues to be bearish on the daily chart, just kind of letting the trending dots catch up. Apple continue to be bearish on the weekly chart, just letting the trending dots and the moving averages catch up. Boom! Crazy Tesla only one down 5% today. Yeah, but they all move in different times, Brandon. So I don't consider it too crazy. There's always a lot of similarities, but like Apple was kind of breaking down first, right? Tesla seemed like it was kind of lagging, and then others will probably lag as well. So Apple kind of led the way of the Magnificent Seven, in my opinion. And so, not that crazy. Always trade the chart in front of us first and foremost. And as one is bouncing, the other one could be breaking down, or as one is breaking down, one can be bouncing. Always expect that, right? The weekly chart started with a wick up today at 171. Maybe that was a wick. Maybe it continues down. Apple continuing to be bearish on the weekly chart, daily chart, all that stuff. So here we go. Let's go back through all the comments. We're going to go through any questions and we're going to start charting all your requests. Let's do it. Let's get back into it. So we covered Bitcoin dominance. We took a look at that. We looked at the indices, NASDAQ, right? Only up 0.39%. It's not like it's a massive reversal, right? We're just talking about bounces along the way, profit taking along the way. We looked at the dollar, 10-year yield, VIX. We didn't take a look at, but it's a wild animal. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. Still bullish on the weekly chart, right? We looked at crypto. So go take a look at that. SQQQ doesn't even have a pending buy signal on the weekly chart yet. Had a buy signal back here at $19. After hitting target 1, some consolidation, right? Will it continue to consolidate back down the trending dots, right? Or, before the next move up? Does not even have a buy signal on the weekly chart yet, right? This is one of those opportunity alerts that we did. High risk opportunity we did 1 month ago, right? It's still a potential opportunity on the higher time frames. The party may have not even gotten started. So go back and take a look at that. Smash the like button over on that video. We did the high risk opportunity, all caps. So just be aware, it's high risk, it's high reward, and you could possibly lose a lot of money, right? It's a 3x bear ETF. So that's it. Let's go through all the comments. Let's rock and roll the comments the second half. Good morning, market snipers, on this money-making Monday, as Wes Diddy calls it. Welcome back. Make sure to smash the like button. Help me, help you, help me smash the subscribe button. Smash it. Join us on the live streams. Join us on the videos. Hit the notify button so you don't miss any of these opportunity alerts that I do, and I spend 10 to 20 minutes on them. It's usually something that I think is important, and there's always going to be new opportunities. Don't chase the markets. Stay patient, and then when you see your move, take that shot. You won't always know when to get in, know when to get out, know when to try to push it, know all that stuff. And if you don't know all that stuff, consider getting into recorded coaching. It's only $79 a month. We have scammers out there pretending to be me, charging $1,000. We don't do that. We don't lock you in for a year. If you want to get out after a month, great. If you want to get out before a month, it's not for everybody. We've had people get out after a couple of days. Do I like that? No, it's a lot of work for me. I don't like that. Will I want to help you get back in later on if you quit after a couple of days? No. But if you were ever to get out, say you've been a market sniper for a year and they want to take a break and they cancel the subscription after a couple months, and after a couple months they came back, I've been known to give the original pricing to the same people because they've been there for a long time. So I remember that. It's all on the billing email addresses. So I know when you get in, I know when you get out, stuff like that. So one of the things I'm most proud of is there's about 40% of all market snipers have been there more than a year. So that's pretty impressive to me. So a lot of you stick with it. A lot of you hopefully are winning. I only hear about a certain amount of people winning, right? And so I would like to hear more of your story, and we could even talk about it on videos in the future. But smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Help you get to 100 likes on here. That would be awesome. Of course, we'll have bigger goals after that. But before we can run, we have to learn to walk. And before we can walk, we have to crawl. So, baby steps. But let's get into all the comments. Let's do this. John Pye, welcome back. New market sniper. Awesome. Hello there. Smash a like. Thank you, John Pye. Thank you for all your support on Twitter X app. Thank you for support on YouTube. And now you have become a market sniper in the Discord. So awesome. Welcome. You requested me to be a friend on the Discord, and I accepted your request this morning, I believe. The one who knocks, more likes, more bikes. Okay, awesome. Thank you for saying that. Welcome back. Good morning, Jesse. Misspell my name, most likely on purpose. Thank you. Travel day and sell signal is sketchy. Still misspelling my name. That is awesome. LL. LOL. Aldo, welcome back. Olson, misspelling my name on purpose. I made it. Could we do Nugget ETF? Yes, let's do it. You've asked, I think you've asked for this before, or someone else did. So it's probably on the watch list, maybe down here at the bottom. If not, then I will just type it in the search to save time. There's FET. Someone asked about FET. There it is. Nugget. NUG2. NUGT. Daily chart. Kind of battling these bottoms, right? Kind of battling these bottoms. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So is it lagging time-wise? This is the gold miner, bull 2x. These are high risk, just so you know, Aldo. These are super high risk. So just be careful, right? These are ultra high risk. They're meant to take retail's money, right? They're built for that reason. You can catch lightning in a bottle on these. But just be known that, versus buying spot Bitcoin, right? Or was it XAU, right? Or XAG for silver, right? Those don't move quite as fast. Gold and silver futures also, very high risk because it's 10x leverage, right? But NUG2 Nugget, NUGT is high risk 2x leverage. So there's going to be a lot of gaps. It's going to be very gappy. It's going to be hard to buy, but it seems like there is potential opportunity here. So let's chart it based off of your question. I just wanted to kind of let you know my thought on that. Let's see. Let's kind of take a look at it here. Let's move this down to there, right? So did have a higher high on RSI and a possible higher low on RSI weekly. So it did close. Let's see. Last week it closed at 47. So relative strength is kind of gaining there on the weekly chart, and it's back above the trending dots. So there could be this potential of a breakout. So I would just kind of watch it like that, see if it finds support here at the trending dots, and if there's a bigger breakout like that, right? So that is the potential. You could see like target 1, target 2, target 3, maybe target 4, kind of a retracement like that. And that'd be a massive move because, again, this is a 2x bullish leverage ETF. So you multiply it by 2, right? So it could be a massive move. It's still early on the weekly chart. If you go on the daily chart, could go through some, this consolidation. There was a buy signal, but it's currently lower than the last buy signal. It's right on the trending dot. So just have to kind of think about, is it going to come back down here, put in a higher low, consolidate, and then a bigger breakout could happen after kind of, maybe go sideways for a couple weeks or longer, right? Comes up like this, comes back down, who knows? But this breakout of this longer term downward trend line probably starts to get closer on the weekly buy signal as well. So I'd be watching it very closely, and then you just have to decide what your opportunity is. So that is Nugget. Hopefully that helps. Good morning, West Diddy, my man. Aldo, doing better. Thanks. Okay, awesome. Glad your family is feeling better. The ship can go only as fast as, what is it? The fleet of warships can only go as fast as the slowest warship, right? Something like that. I know that's the saying. So your family can only go as fast as your most sick child, right? So you have to get them healthy, and then you can be rocking and rolling again. So I'm glad they're feeling better. ABK, hello, ABK. Javier, good morning, folks. Good morning, Javier. Welcome back. Kiko, XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP. All right, let me just do the search. It's going to be faster. I know it's on the watch list, but let's just do it. Yep, there it is. Okay. Okay. XRP daily chart has flipped ultra bullish, right? XRP daily chart is flipped ultra bullish. So we're talking about this breakout back here, right? Kind of battled it, put in a higher low down here, right? You change the trend line back like this after the reversal candle, comes back down, puts in a higher low. Bullish divergence, followed by a higher low, followed by a buy signal. Higher probabilities on XRP. We were talking about that it is like catching lightning in a bottle. It is back above the 200-week moving average. Watch out for pump and dumps. It could move very fast. It can move very quickly. Don't forget to take profit is my only point on that, right? So buy signal back here at 52 cents. It is ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart had a buy signal back here at 52 cents as well. So is it too late to get in now? I think you're chasing at this point. So for me, it is. It's too late to get it now. I'd rather find something that might be lagging time-wise. That's just my own personal opinion. That's my own personal stance is I don't like to chase. If I don't get that sniper entry because I've been watching it like a sniper, I've been waiting patiently like a sniper, all that stuff. If I haven't been doing all that, I don't want to chase it, right? I'd rather look for that next opportunity that could be lagging time-wise, whether it's dot, whether it's near, whether it's Matic, whatever it is. But if you're already in XRP, you want to continue to try and push it as long as you can. These are some older targets. It hit multiple targets up here. It hit like 2 out of the 4 targets up here. I have to redraw it like on longer term. But, eyeball tests, right? Maybe I'll draw it for the next time. Eyeball tests, like you can see where it hit like probably target 2 there, like target 3, target 4. So there is some potential there to hit some higher targets. It is bullish on the weekly chart. It is ultra bullish on the daily chart. And you can see where you could get some more pumps. Just don't forget to take profits along the way on XRP. Good morning, Arnold, longtime sniper, and our only and first official moderator after a year and a half in the Discord. Arnold, also talking about one of his high risk accounts, took $100 and flipped it into $4,000 over time. Congratulations to you, Arnold. That's awesome. Welcome back, Luis. Good morning. Welcome back, Bubble Donkey. Hey, Jesse, what up? Bubble Donkey, good to see you. Good to see you too. Kiko, do you think FET is at a good entry point for this pullback, aiming for $4 FET? Emmanuel was asking about FET on a few live streams. So if you're asking, it might be. Let's see. Where I think it's towards the bottom here. Maybe I missed it. Sometime there it is, right underneath NUGT, aka Nugget. Weekly chart had a bullish buy last week. What a move up! That is a massive move, right? On a buy signal. So on a buy signal, you have to decide for yourself if it's still early, right? It was such a massive move. You want to try to catch it beforehand, right? As it's breaking out. Because after the buy signal, it's already a 56% move, right? Could this be a longer term, bigger shot? Yeah, it's possible. This was the bottom. It's possible that it found support at a key target area and it puts in a higher low and battles the 200-week moving average and gets back up. So on a lower time frame, it's also, you'd be chasing here, in my opinion, right? You got a buy signal on the weekly chart. So kind of late to the party. There's a buy signal on the daily chart, which was more ideal back here, 22 cents. And it's been ultra bullish for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, right? So this is what happens a lot is an asset gets ultra bullish, and that's when people want to get in, right? It's more difficult. It's easier for me to get in down here. It's hard for me to get in up here. I would just have to let this one go, right? We talked about this even back here, way back here. I think when Emmanuel was looking at it, right? It could bounce up, come back down, bounce up, come back down, bounce up, come back down. And these would be your possible buy the dip scenarios. It never did that, right? It just went buy signal and like didn't even really get rejected from the 200-week moving average and just blew past all of it, right? It's a wait and see, and it would have to be a buy the dip scenario on the daily chart. So is that it on the daily chart, right? Will it consolidate and put in some sort of higher low? That's what I would have to wait for. If not, let it go. Wait for a higher low. That's a good one. Wait for a higher low or let it go, right? There's no way I could buy right now. It's been ultra bullish for 7 days. There's no way. If I'm not getting in down here, I don't like it. If I'm not getting in here where you got to close back above and starts to flip, it's still bullish, but it starts to get back in, right? There's no way. That would like here is ideal. This is like there's still plenty of room to the upside, but then the risk to reward is like probably not even close to as good, right? I want to get in down here because this looks like a higher low, right? Even a double bottom. Here, let's kind of zoom in here. Let's kind of zoom in here. This is looking like a double bottom, right? And if I'm not getting in down here and maybe putting stop losses down here at like 20 cents, that risk to reward ratio down here looks really good. Here, not as good. I'm definitely not getting in up here, right? At this point, I'm waiting for a pullback on the daily chart. And if it doesn't happen, I'm moving on. So hope that answers your question. If you're already in a position, are you pushing it to $4 or $4.50? Yeah, possibly, right? It's still ultra bullish. And we just had a buy signal on the weekly chart. But that's what I'm talking about. Where like Cardano last week, there wasn't even a buy signal yet last week when I was talking about it. There wasn't even a buy signal yet on dot or near, right? So it's getting back in like around this area, right? It was getting in back around this area talking about it. So we'll see, but I hope that answers your question. If you got any follow-up questions, let me know. Gold up, BTC up, and stocks down. Maybe will happen a big event. What's the chart or saying? What are you talking about? May will happen a big event. Maybe you could clarify, Bubble Donkey, what you're asking on that one. You mean like a reversal and a big drop? Maybe, right? But as of right now, it's bullish until it's not. So there, you trade each chart individually. And I talked about this. You probably missed some live streams, but I talked about this. Go back to the past and trade the charts individually. And I gave an example of this on Moscow Exchange, right? So Moscow Exchange broke down way back here in October 2021. The war didn't start till February 2022. So trade the chart in front of you. Dropped all the way back down here, way below March 2020 lows, and then rallied to all-time highs. Even though the war is happening in Ukraine and Moscow, and Ukraine and Russia, even though the war was happening, it broke down before the war, came all the way down, and has rallied to all-time highs, maybe a double top, right, during the war. So trade the chart first and foremost. Trade the chart no matter what. That's the most important thing overall, despite the news, despite what the narratives are, all that stuff. So that's my overall thoughts. And I talked about that on Moscow Exchange. So overall, trade the chart in front of you. Seems like Bitcoin is decoupling. Yeah, we talked about that. Matic. Okay. Yeah, we talked about Matic, Danielson. Monthly chart still in bearish territory, but weekly chart is showing signs of relative strength. We talked about it, covered it, closed above 45 on RSI, had a buy signal on RSI. Doesn't mean it couldn't correct in the short term, right? But had a weekly close back above the trending dots, right? And the daily chart is still bullish, right? Went ultra bullish, consolidated for, call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days pushed up, consolidating again. So I don't think you're as late to the party on this one, because even though there's a buy signal on the daily chart back here, and that would have been ideal, right? It doesn't even have a pending buy signal on the weekly chart yet. And it could be putting in a higher low back here at 60 cents. So yes, this was a more ideal. This is less ideal, but not even a potential pending buy signal on the weekly chart yet. So take that for what it is. Great explanation. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm in class. Don't get caught, my man. Don't get caught at work. Don't get caught at class. Don't get caught in business, right? Handle your business first and foremost. This is always secondary, right? But thank you for watching on your, and if you get more students involved, great. Get your teachers involved, get your students involved. You could even do classes on reports on it. All right, let's take a look at it. It's on our watch list. Maybe a quick scan here. If not, oh, there it is. There it is. Got it. Okay. So mapped out these targets a long time ago, right? And then price came all the way back down here after only hitting target 1. And then after that, so if you kind of like redraw this out, because I haven't looked at the chart in a while, kind of look at it from way back here, right? I kind of redraw this out. That'd be like more of an aggressive trendline breakout. So you can see it kind of breaking out here. A daily close back above the trending dots. A daily buy signal back here at $6.75 ish, right? Followed by a breakout here of this longer term downward trend line. Kind of remove that one, right? And so you're just kind of looking at like if it's coming back up, hitting key target areas again, right? A lot of these weren't even hit yet. And I'm sure these would change a little bit just based off of this lower wick down here. I'd have to change the targets a little bit, but we'll just leave them on for like visual purposes. So it is currently bullish on the daily chart, and on the weekly chart, it doesn't even have a pending buy signal yet, right? This was the first weekly close yesterday at $7.30, back above the trending dots, barely, right? This would be another weekly close, possibly back above the trending dots. The 200-week moving average, if it were to regain the 200-week moving average, very similar to Chainlink, very similar to Ethereum. Wow, that's a lot. We're an hour, 17 minutes in. We still have a lot to go. Smash a like. Help me keep going. Let's go. Smash a like. Pending buy signal hasn't even happened yet. We had a buy signal in the weekly chart, right? Still has a lot of work to do. The week closed at 41. Still has a lot of work to do. Seems pretty early, right? So even though it doesn't look as early on the daily chart, the weekly chart still looks pretty early. So hope that helps. Ollie, can you please look at GDX? Sure. Let's take a look. It's probably going to look very similar to gold and the miner, the NUGT. So we'll just take a quick glance at it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's going to look very similar, right? Gold miners ETF. I'm sure there's a lot of similarities. So could be lagging time-wise, very similar to NUGT, right? Getting back above the trending dots on the weekly chart, right? Had a close back up here at about 49.50, but call it 49, right? And the daily chart has been kind of battling and was flipping bullish, and maybe it's finding support. Was battling, is still below the 200 moving average, but at some point it could just find support at these possibly these trending dots and flip back around, and it could be a quick, fast move, because these are fast movers, faster than maybe not as fast as NUGT, which is a 2x, but this ETF is also very fast mover and could find support and then continue upwards. So we'll see. At some point, it's going to, is this the higher low already, or is there going to be another higher low at some point and then it kind of flips back around? So very similar. Grant, welcome back. Glad you're back. Brandon, Tesla John. Yep. Crazy Tesla only down 5% today. Only one down 5%. Yeah. Moves at different times. Could you cover natural gas? Sure. We'll look at natural gas. It's on here. It's on the watch list. It's a wild animal. I kind of stopped, even though I was trading it, I kind of stopped covering it as much because all the comments, people couldn't handle it, right? It's too fast. It's too choppy, right? So I stopped covering it, Alan. So I probably won't cover it as much moving forward because natural gas futures is too much for most people to handle. And I just, there's too many questions, and I want people to win, right? I want people to succeed. I want people to be profitable. So even though it's an amazing opportunity, it's just too much for most of the snipers out there. So it's probably more for like the snipers in recorded coaching and the private discussion recorded coaching. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can always go to the website. Remember, we don't have a Telegram. We don't have any $1,000 courses or anything like that. But you can go to marketsniper.pro, right? Go to services. We only have two options: $29 a month and $79 a month. And in that $79, there's a private discussion group. So if you want to do something like super high risk, like natural gas futures, you should probably be in coaching, and you should probably be in the discussion group and with fellow recorded coaching people and talk about it there. And we do have sniper bot alerts on natural gas futures 12-hour chart. So you probably need all the tools at that point. You need probably the sharpshooter RSI. You probably need the sharpshooter candles. Probably helps a lot with sniper bot alerts of the 12-hour chart for natural gas futures. Probably all of that, right? So and then we got Grant Masterson, right? Grant, there you are, Grant. Should we play your video on the live stream? And then we got the dashboard. I updated this over the weekend. The dashboard version 1.0 is currently in beta test for current market snipers only. Once you become a subscriber, whether it's $29 or $79 a month, whatever you decide, you are eligible to become part of the beta test group for $1 per month. I'm doing it $1 just so I can kind of track everything and see, how many people are actually really interested and stuff like that. So it's $1. By the way, you have to be a subscriber at $29 or $79 a month to be able to maintain the $1 a month. So it's not like you can just come in to be a subscriber for $29 for 1 month, leave, and then keep the $1 a month. But if you stay in as a subscriber, your $1 a month for the dashboard will always be $1 a month. So this is just a quick dashboard snapshot, not even of the full screen view of the daily, weekly, monthly calendar, right? It shows profit and loss. And then you can even type in what your, like weekly tasks or daily tasks on the calendar as well. So that's what we have over there. So we don't have any paid affiliates. We don't have any paid sponsorships. We just have our own Market Sniper stuff that can help you hopefully become a better trader, better investor, and be more profitable. So let's get back. Natural gas thoughts. Had a buy signal back here at $3. Broke out, right? Was breaking out back here. Wild animal with futures, which is 10x leverage. 22%. 220% gain if you played that from like that breakout. It's just, it's just too wild for a lot of people. So I'm going to say experts only. I'm going to say the people in recorded coaching who have all the sniper tools have been doing this for probably, I don't know, at least 3 months, 6 months. Who knows how long it takes you to like dial it in, right? I think it's more for that. So I don't cover it as much, and I probably won't cover it as much. But what you could see is maybe some consolidation, maybe even back test training dots, and then wait for the next move out like that, right? So still bullish on the weekly chart overall. At some point, I still believe we hit this target. At some point, I believe it hits the 200-week moving average. At some point, it could regain the 200-week moving average and hit higher targets. and retrace all the way back up. This is a magnet for the 200-week moving average, right? So because it had a very similar pattern as Bitcoin, but in my opinion, after watching all of this, I think it's more difficult to trade natural gas futures than Bitcoin with leverage, right? So bold statement, but there's a lot of gaps. And if you trade Bitcoin with leverage, there's no gaps, right? But it's 24/7. So got to take it with a grain of salt. Alan, I hope that answered your question. Javier, would be good to look at ETH BTC. Okay, we can do that. I think I had that. I was looking at those last night. ETH BTC. I think maybe it's on a different chart. So let me just type it in. But I was looking at the pairings of ETH BTC. I was looking at DOT BTC, ADA BTC. I was pretty sure I was looking at all of them, right? So let's take a look at ETH BTC. Still ultra bearish on the weekly chart as of right now, back below 200 moving average. Still ultra bearish on ETH BTC. Doesn't mean ETH can't bounce while BTC bounces. So this is where I think a lot of people get it wrong, right? It can still bounce, but it's still, it's not that alt season that people talk about, right? So maybe if there's a higher probability reversal on the weekly chart, then you could see ETH bounce while Bitcoin starts to correct or something like that. But it may not even happen until like the next full official bull run, right? And then after Bitcoin runs, the altcoins and even Ethereum will go afterwards. But it's still ultra bearish on the weekly chart and the daily chart. There are signs of it flipping around, right? So it's no longer ultra bearish on the daily chart. Just be cautious that it still is on the weekly chart. I know higher time frames are more important, but this is telling you it's no longer ultra bearish on the daily chart as of yet. There was a reversal candle back here, and you can see that there's even bullish divergence, right? So bullish divergence followed by a reversal candle on ETH BTC. I love that. It's just caution, 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 caution. We're still not even back above the trending dots. Still not even back above here, right? And but there are some signs of potential flipping around on the daily chart, right? Kind of map it out. Still not even back above the downward trend line. And the weekly chart is still ultra bearish. So hope that helps. Let me know. CME gap on Tesla at 193. Do you think we find some support there? Tesla, Magnificent 7. Let's take a look. Tesla at 193. CME gap on Tesla at 193. It might be a smaller gap. Let's see. I'm not really seeing this gap. I'm not really calling that as a gap personally, Brandon. Maybe, and if there was a previous gap, it's already been filled at that point. But looking at this here, 193 or right here, I'm not really calling that a gap. I'm calling that, in my personal opinion, since it wicked up and wicked back down, I know some will call that a partial filled gap, but in my personal experience, I don't think that's significant enough. I feel like that's already been kind of closed with this wick here, right? So a partially filled gap, I think, is like more than enough. So like up here, you got like this gap up here that's still open at 242. You still have this older gap down here. Even this was like partially filled, but not fully, right? Still this gap down here at 147. So I'm not really seeing the 193. I can see that like many will call this as a partially filled gap. And, maybe according to the definition on Investopedia, right? But just from my own personal experience where I traded so many options with going back, 3, 4, 5 years ago, trading so many options on stocks that, you know, this isn't as significant enough of a gap for me to like like it's probably good for awareness, but like I'm not too concerned about it. I'm more like looking at this older gap or maybe up here, and definitely like a 10% gap or a 20% gap, stuff like that. Um, but the answer to your question is yeah, I could find support, could have found support here, could have found support at the 200-week moving average, could find support here, may not find support till we get down here. The problem is I don't buy off of support, right? It's got to be more than support. So you got a lot of people that buy off of support, right? And they're right X amount of times. They're right most of the time. But I can tell you right now, I wouldn't buy if where I would buy support is if it's finding key support and relative strength is reversing back around and finally gaining strength, then I would buy off of key support. I don't just buy off of key support to buy off key support because it can lose key support and it'd be gone, right? So that it's not enough for me to buy off key support. And I see people buy off key support all the time. I can tell you they're not going to be as accurate. I guarantee they're not going to be as accurate. And maybe that's okay for them because, you know, 33% of the time they're wrong, or 50% of the time they're wrong, or they're doing a coin flip 50% of the time they're wrong. And maybe that's still enough for them to be profitable if they're doing a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Because what we talk about in recorded coaching is if you're 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and we cover this on videos, that you have to be right 34% of the time to get past break even and become profitable. So you don't have to be right 100% of the time. You don't have to be right 50% of the time. If you're at a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you have to be right 34% of the time or better, right? And as of right now, it's ultra bearish on the daily chart at key support. I'm not buying, right? I need it to be flipping around and key support held. And key support, it found support at key support target area, right? It's not trending down still. MACD still trending down below the zero line. Relative strength on the daily chart is ultra bearish at 25. This is sometimes when the magic happens. You can see it went ultra bearish back here at like 215, right? Battled, and then went all the way down to 191, right? So when it started getting ultra bearish back here at, call it 215, 216, is down another 11%. That's massive for Tesla. That is a huge, right? I'm not just buying at support blindly. I need an overall risk to reward with, you know, things flipping around. So doesn't mean it won't bounce and find support here, right? But I'm just not, I don't catch falling knives, right? Dot, take a look at gold spot. Okay, sure. I mean, we've already looked at NUGT and we've already looked at GDX and gold futures. So we're not going to spend too much time looking at the similar stuff. But we'll take a look at it for you. Ooh, an hour and a half. Let's see. Johnny, see, maybe we'll come back to Doc. But yeah, we're getting close to the end. Had to watch at 1.25 speed to catch up. I was late. Laugh aloud. Johnny C, all right. Can you look at GRT, please? Looking to buy and hold. Okay, Johnny C, longtime sniper, supporting on the channel, supporting on YouTube, supporting on Twitter X. We're going to do it. We're going to stay for you, my man. Doc, we're going to look at it. XAU, still bullish on the daily chart. Had that buy signal, right? Still bullish. Had the buy signal on the weekly chart, right? Currently has a pending reverse candle. It's kind of interesting, right? But hit targets to the downside, found support at 200 moving average, bounced all the way up. This is where it's going to get interesting. This is where it's kind of in like no man's land, as they say. Will this be a lower high, right? Or is it going to put in a higher low at some point? So it's bullish on the weekly chart. It's bullish on the daily chart. It was ultra bullish on the daily chart. So did it find support 200 moving average? It's kind of in no man's land. Will it come back down and retrace some of this bigger move down, right? This is a big move down. Could it retrace back down, retest targets, put in a higher low, and then move back up, right? Seems like it. And if you drop down to like a lower time frame, you can kind of see that happening where there's like bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. And is this going to be a lower high, right? And then come back down. So after the divergence, could you see it come back down, right? Find key support, bounce, and go. Could it come down to the next target, right? Could it come down to the next target, right? That would be my next entry, right, on gold. So I would want to see some sort of retracement. I don't want to see some sort of find key support, retrace this massive move on the 4-hour chart. What a massive move that was on the 4-hour chart, right? All the way from $18.33 buy signal all the way up, right? Massive move. I want to see some sort of retracement followed by a breakout. That's what I'm kind of watching. Hope that helps. Doc, you got it. Thumbs up. You got it. Did you see NVIDIA? Did I see NVIDIA do what? NVIDIA. I mean, we looked at it briefly while we're on the live stream. 0.8%, right? Do we watch what on NVIDIA? I'm not sure what you're 4K mods. Not sure what you're watching, but yeah, we've been watching NVIDIA. It's bearish on the daily chart. We're calling the lower high. We're calling the reversal. All that stuff. So yeah, not much to see. Johnny C. Not much to see other than Johnny C on here, right? Let's look at Gert. Oh, hold on. Let's get back to over Sniper top 40. GRT, right? Crypto. Let's take a look. Daily chart is still ultra bullish. Sorry, I'm late. Yep. It's okay. We need the replay crew. We need it. We need everyone's support. We need those likes smash. We need everyone, right? Ultra bullish on, and then what were you looking at for Johnny C? Let's see. Had to watch $1.25. Can you look at Gert, please? Looking to buy and hold. It's ultra bullish on the daily chart. All right, Johnny C. Come on now. Come on, Sniper. Come on. We got to get those buys back here on the daily chart, even if it's a long-term buy and hold, right? We got to get those buys on the daily chart, right? Convert over like Grant Masterson did. Grant Masterson came in as an investor, as a longtime investor, right? And he saw that he should have gotten out in the 60,000 range on Bitcoin, but that's okay because he was in the Discord, and then he was able to get out at 48,000 or 46,000 on Bitcoin, right? Hope you don't mind me telling the story, Grant. We're live on the live stream. You even gave us a testimonial on the website. But Grant converted to a day swing trader on the daily chart versus just long-term buy and hold, right? We got to get these sniper entries back here. Then you don't have to worry about getting in now when it's ultra bullish at 10 cents. Could have got in at 8.5 cents, right? Weekly chart had a buy signal, right? Had a buy signal yesterday on a weekly chart at 10 cents. So you just have to decide when you're going to get in. Had a MACD bullish crossover. Could you still get in based off a longer term? Yes, you could, but it better be for a longer term because it's a weekly chart. So, right. But, was the ideal sniper entry back on 8.5 cents? Yes. Could it still be early? Yes. Right. Still could be early. It flipped bullish end of last week with the pending buy signal, and then got a buy signal yesterday on yesterday's close. So just have to decide what it is, right? Could be a slightly higher low, right? Could be trending back around. Could be some massive potential. At one point, it hit $2.88, right? So even if it retraced like half of that, because we're not back in the bull market yet, I mean, it's a massive potential, right? Back up to $1.40, back up to dollars, a round number, right? Even up here, right? Back up in here, 148%. So you just have to map out what's important to you. Maybe you have to hold it short-term pain, right? When the daily chart is still ultra bullish, right? And then maybe it has a retracement. Maybe not. Maybe it just takes off directly to the upside like a move like that. Who knows, right? So that is it for GRT. We're getting towards the end of the comments, right? Did you see the video? Yep. All right. Wow. Hour 39 minutes. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a good weekend with the family. And hope to see you on the next live stream. We're going to put a longer video out on Bitcoin. We'll continue to talk about it. Down 0.72% today. 1 hour, 40 minutes. Rocking and rolling on a Monday. Thank you for your continued support. And thank you for continuing to smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Let's rock and roll. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.